Today on Seat 11A, we are joined by Clemens Billek of Kontron AG to present the company's Q1 2026 financial results. In this presentation, management provides an update on current developments across Kontron's IoT, software, and digital infrastructure businesses, as well as operational progress during the first quarter of 2026. We are very pleased to have him here today. Clemens, the floor is yours.
Welcome. Let me guide you through the Q1 2026 results and the most recent company highlights. We saw strong growth in transportation and defense. Transportation grew by 28%, defense by 25%. Our two strongest divisions driving growth of software and solutions. The backlog has further increased. We had a book-to-bill ratio of 1.13, implying a growth of 13% at the end of the first quarter. We ended the quarter with a record backlog of 2.5 billion. The working capital has also further improved. We achieved a working capital of 283 million, already a significantly lowered level at year-end of 287 million. Looking at the company highlights, the green tech restructuring is gaining momentum. We expect savings of 30 million on a run rate basis by the end of Q4 2026. 339 FTEs have already been reduced in Q1 out of the target of 500 FTEs for the total year 2026. We have indications that Congatec might pay already the 126 million by September 2026. Ennoconn has announced they are considering launching a tender offer. The board of directors has authorized management to cross the 30%, thereby triggering a mandatory tender offer. Ennoconn is contemplating offering 23.5 euros per share. We will evaluate and comment once the offer is on the table. In compliance with the obligation not to impede with a potential tender offer, we have reduced the price cap of the share buyback program from 24 to 23.5 euros. Looking at the major KPIs in Q1 2026. We had revenues of 385 million in Q1 2025, but please bear in mind that we have deconsolidated the COM business and we had several divestments. Adjusted by that, revenues stood at 358 million. We have achieved revenues of 364, resulting in a moderate growth of 1.7% Q-on-Q on an adjusted basis. If we compare the revenues to the booked orders of 413, we get to book-to-bill of 113, implying growth of 13%. The gross profit was down 10% to 153 million. But once again, please bear in mind that the result was burdened by the deconsolidation of the COM business as well as the divestments in 2025. The EBITDA was on a reported basis 48 million, adjusted for the divestments and the deconsolidation of the COM business, it stood at 45. The reported EBITDA for first quarter 2026 was 38 million. Adjusted for the one-off restructuring costs for the green tech restructuring of 8.5 million, you get to an EBITDA of 46 million, in line with the revenue growth of 1.7%. The net result reported was 20 million last year, adjusted for the COM business deconsolidation as well as the divestments. It was as 18 million. The reported net result Q1 2026 was 40 million. Adjusted for the restructuring charges, it stood at 20 million, a growth of 6.7%. If we look at the operating cash flow, it was at 3 million last year. It stood at minus 9 million in the first quarter this year. However, we have reduced factoring significantly in the first quarter 2026. If adjusted for the reduced factoring, it would have been on the same level like in Q1 last year. Let's have a look at the major Kontron Group balance sheet metrics. Equity stood at the same level, while the equity ratio improved again from 41.8% to 42.5%. Total net debt temporarily decreased from minus 147 to minus 190 million. Please bear in mind that the cash-in from the Congatec transaction has not been received yet. Working capital improved as well, similar to the equity ratio. It improved from 287 million to 283 million. Looking at the forecast for 2026, we expect revenues in the same range as 2025 and an adjusted EBITDA of 225 million compared to 220 million last year. On an unadjusted basis, that will be around 200 million of EBITDA this year. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to write to me or to ir@kontron.com. I'm looking forward to discussing further with you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Clemens, for guiding us through Kontron AG's Q1 2026 financial results. This presentation provided an overview of current developments across Kontron's IoT ecosystem, software activities, and digital infrastructure operations during the first quarter of 2026. You can find this video and many more management presentations from listed companies on seat11a.com. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you back soon on Seat 11A.
Disclaimer. As described in the legal section on our website, seat11a.com, this publication is for informational purposes only. This means it is not intended to provide you with any investment advice. Any opinion or recommendation expressed by the companies is neither given nor supported by us and should not be considered investment advice from our side. Also, remember that any opinion or recommendation expressed is subject to change without further notice. The content is obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but we do not guarantee its accuracy, completeness, or timeliness. Seat11a.com and its employees disclaim all liability for any loss that may arise in any form from any use of the information in the video, audio, and on our website. We neither express any opinion on the future value of any security or other investment vehicle, nor recommend any investment based on the information provided. Please consider the publications and our website as a platform for companies to present themselves. You need to seek financial advice from an expert regarding the accuracy and appropriateness of the material presented or recommended by the companies in the publication. As we are just considered a publisher, we may hold and trade securities in the presenting company, whether it is a listed or private company. By consuming our content, you agree to these terms and the terms in our legal section on our website.